I'm long range. Me and the team on the same page. Stayed down, never switched up. Only thing changed was the game. I'm in the zone now. Nothing can change what we on now. When I pull up, know it's going down. Foot on the gas, ain't no slowing.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Clydesdale Media Roundtable. This week we got Amy.
Yep, I'm back.
So there's a lot buzzing around the space, but the first thing I have to know from you is I've heard of Fran Lung. I've never heard of Grace Lung.
Well, I had it today.
But I got to know what it is and how you got it.
Okay, I was doing Grace. So first of all, we had a strength beforehand, working up to a heavy 3-rep clean and jerk. And that felt fine. Actually, I put 85 on there. That was my starting weight to kind of build. And I was like, okay, now I remember this is going to suck when I get to actually Grace. And so then I was like, I looked at I've done it like 8 times, and my all-time PR is like 240. And I was like, well, that's not happening because that was like 6 years ago. And, I'm still fit, but not that as fit as that. And so I almost always do singles all the way. And I was like, didn't have a plan. And I did 1 set of 3, and then I went singles all the way through. Didn't look at the clock, just was like, just get your reps done. Just do your 30, then look at the clock. It's fine. And I finished in 257. So I was thrilled that I got it under 3. And then I just kind of like laid down on the ground. And then for about 15 minutes afterwards, I was coughing and couldn't stop. And I was like, oh yeah, this is what it's like when you taste that metal again and hit that threshold. So that's where I had Grace Lung.
So are you happy that you pushed to a level that got you the cardio lung? You said it's been a long time.
Yeah.
I think it's good going into the open that you start to experience that, because that's really what the open's about, is pushing you to that like new limit.
Well, it's funny because a bunch of us during the warm-up were talking about that. We're like, oh, great. We're not anywhere near our PRs, and it's almost the open time. I feel much differently about the open. Last year I felt differently about the open because I was more focused on studying for my level 3. This year, I feel differently about the open because I feel like I always had something to kind of work towards. Like I was hoping to be in the top 10%, to be the quarterfinals that way. And then last year was like, okay, when they made it the top 25, I was like, I don't have to try as hard. And this year I'm kind of just like, I'm just going to do 3 weeks of workouts, and that's what I'll do.
So for you, the Community Cup
right
has not triggered your passion like quarterfinals did in the past.
No, it just hasn't.
So for you, now that the levels have a meaning,
yeah,
that doesn't mean anything.
Sorry, I had to. It might. Because I don't know what it looks like yet. Like because it's something new, I haven't really seen. Can't put myself there yet.
So hypothetically, finish the open and you are a level 7.
Okay.
You go to the Community Cup,
Mm-hmm.
you compete level 7, level 8.
Okay.
They grab the 2.
Yeah.
And by the end of the Community Cup, you're now a level 8.
Okay.
Does that mean something to you?
Yeah. I mean, that would give me some incentive. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, again, just because it's something new, and just like quarterfinals was new before too. It was like, oh, I just want to make it to that. And then whatever, with the quarterfinal workouts.
Yeah. What I like about this new format, and I think we probably do have to see it 1 year, is that you make it and then you're with your group of athletes that you can push against.
Yeah.
Right. And then it's not over. You can improve on wherever you are in that group, right?
Yeah. And that part makes sense because it's like when you get to the quarterfinals, you're like, okay, I'm right here, but they're right here. These people are here, and I'm just happy to be right under here. So at least I would get to, be against people. You're right. Like that we could push each other.
And I like the fact that the workout for your group will be customized for that skill level.
Yeah, true.
Right. And I do think if it going forward, then people will be like, well, this year I was a level 3. I'd love to be a level 5.
Yeah.
I think it'll start meaning more.
I agree.
Going forward, but you're right. We don't know what's going on.
Yeah. That's what I mean. That's why it's hard to get excited about something you're just not sure how it will go. So
is your gym doing the big intramural tournament?
Yeah. Yes.
Sign ups up or down this year for the open for you guys?
Down.
Down.
Yeah.
Significantly or?
No, I wouldn't say significant.
I mean, I used to go to your gym.
Yeah.
There are a small group of people that really follow the sport. Most of them have no idea who Tia Toomey is anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, that might be a little bit facetious, but
yeah, I think it's a very small number. And that's when I keep getting back to thinking about, which I know we'll talk about later, like people de-affiliating and doing all this stuff in the sport. There's a very small number of most athletes in gyms that really know about the sport and the sport side of it. Yes.
Teeny tiny.
Yes.
Yeah. And they're usually back in the back corner hiding from the coach, talking about it.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Corey says you're assuming they'll keep it around. That is correct.
Keep the
and who knows?
Is that what he's talking?
Because they could be selling and someone's going to change the format next year.
Yeah, could be.
So there's a lot of buzz about a sale. Nothing concrete. All we have right now is some push pins and some red yarn and a couple pieces of evidence here and there and everywhere. And like one of those was that Daniel Chaffee could become the CEO. Coffee Pods and Wads had him on yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I am less inclined to believe that is in place after listening to that interview than was stated before. So I think there are some facts that we don't know, and we're still putting puzzle pieces together. So your thoughts about CrossFit possibly being up for sale?
I mean, God, I have a lot of thoughts going on right now, so it's hard to I think we need strong leadership happening. And I think we've been talking forever about some transparency. I think that on the affiliate side that we were, making, although affiliate fees were increasing, though I think there was some real positive parts to that aspect. I hate, this is where I'm going to get on my soapbox real quick. I really am hating that HQ is all encompassed with the sport and with our affiliates, because I think that creates a lot of confusion for the majority of most CrossFit athletes. And so I think they see the stuff about, I'm talking about the majority of the athletes, not us niche people who are really into the sport and really into deep diving and all this. I think that can feel scary that there's been so many turnovers of leadership and ownership.
I think what's frustrating for me is that we have forward-facing people for CrossFit HQ. Don Fall, Dave Castro, Asta Malialo, all these people, right? None of them own CrossFit, right?
Yeah.
Who owns CrossFit is this board and this finance company behind it, or whatever.
Yeah.
I keep losing the word for that.
Investors? What?
Right. And I think they control a lot of what we hate and a lot of what we have seen, and that the forward-facing people aren't allowed to say or do things that we think they should but they have no control over that. And that was kind of confirmed yesterday in the interview with Daniel Chaffee.
Okay.
He said flat out that Don Fall tried to do things, and then when it was seen that the roadmap to make money with CrossFit from the private equity company wasn't happening, they started telling him no.
Okay. Yeah.
Cut here, cut there, cut this.
Yeah.
And so I think there's just a lot of confusion right now.
Yes.
So Train to Live asks a great question. Better to have an outsider buy it or better to have someone involved in CrossFit? I think you have to understand the community.
I do too. I think it needs to be somebody that knows.
But I would not be mad at a mix. Because and rather than a private equity company coming in, I'd rather have a mix of people and businesses in and outside of the sport to work together, come up with new ideas, new fresh things, but understand this community does not react like most communities do to change. So that's and another thing out of the Daniel Chaffee interview with Coffee Pods and Mods is he said, we got to stop treating CrossFit like a flip. He's like, it's like you bought a $400,000 house and then you come in and you just put stuff in to make it look good and flip it. This is a beautiful thing that was created and it needs to be shown as the beautiful thing that it is. And it needs time and energy put into it to remodel it properly. Which I thought was a great analogy for that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I have been thinking that too. Like, I feel like there's been all this constant turnover.
Yeah.
Since 2020. That's a short amount of time for, I feel, this turnover.
Right. Because private equity is there for one reason. To make money.
Yes, to make money.
Yeah. Man, we're just going to hit the hot stuff. Boom, 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 boom.
Let's go. Next.
Next one is, I know that you love Ben Bergeron and all that he stands for.
Not at all.
I believe he made an announcement weeks ago that he was going to de-affiliate. He then had a podcast on his Chasing Excellence platform. He also had another gym owner come in. He made a statement. I played it yesterday where he was asked he answered that the reason he was de-affiliating was because of the incident at the CrossFit Games and the reaction by CrossFit.
Lack of values.
Right. He was then asked, what would you have done differently? He said, I don't know what I would have done differently, but I would have done the right thing.
But not give you what the right thing is.
Right. Prefacing that by, I don't know what I would have done. 6 months after the fact.
Right.
You've had 6 months to think about it and you still don't know what you would have done. And yet you're holding the people accountable who had to make that decision in minutes. That really pissed me off.
Yeah. So, I'm pissed because, he made a big hoopla deal with 2020. We're going to de-affiliate. We're going to de-affiliate. We're going to de-affiliate. I actually thought they did. I didn't realize that they never did actually de-affiliate then. So I thought they de-affiliated, came back, blah, blah, blah. And now they're doing it again. So to me, it felt like, and kind of what you and I just said, like, oh, so something big and controversial is happening. I'm going to make a statement and to do something. And it feels to me a little virtue signaling with his decision making. I mean, he has the right to make his decision. These are my opinions based on his decisions. And it also frustrates me because it's like, you've literally been affiliated since 2007. You were one of the first. And this, you have made your career based on this brand, this methodology, and CrossFit HQ is more than the games. You're making a decision based on the games. Your affiliate is not the only thing that's, yeah.
What was it? 2 years ago, he said he was retiring from the sports side of CrossFit.
Yep.
Cole was going to take over. Now you're de-affiliating because of the sports side that you retired from and it wanted nothing to do with it, and you wanted to focus on your community. Now you focus on your community, and Big Con wants got to hear what Ben has to say. So I'm going to jump on a podcast and not really have any answers.
Yeah. And I think that's where I personally don't like him, because I feel like he gives a lot of advice, a lot of life quotes and things like that. And I've listened to some of his about parenting, and, I'm all in on listening to that. And I feel that he talks, all of it is this, I know the best. I have all the answers. I'm going to tell you guys, that, follow this amazing advice I'm giving you. Like, talking down to people is what I feel from his vibe.
Personally, I could give a shit if he de-affiliates or not.
Yeah.
I have nothing to do with CrossFit New England. But if you're going to de-affiliate, as we say in Pittsburgh, shut your mouth.
Yins. Shut your mouth, Yins. Yeah.
And it now the guy he had on had a bunch of different reasons why that led up to his decision.
Yeah.
It actually made more sense to me than Ben's. So, and I get it that there are reasons that people would de-affiliate, and they can. That's up to them. They have their reasons. But what Ben said nothing in that podcast.
Mm-hmm. And just as I've been thinking about, it's a form of protest, and I 100% support that people have the right to do that. And I also look at, at the athletes who have come out to say that they're not participating in the open, and that is their way of protesting to HQ, and they have every right to do that. And if that's their platform that they want to stand on to say, I'm not going to support that by not doing the open, like, they have every right for that. But I guess I'm just saying, when you are talking about, again, what you have already said, like the sport part and the affiliate part, there is that difference. He could still be CrossFit New England and say, we're not going to do the open here, or we're not going to encourage the athletes to do the open or whatever, because we don't want HQ to get, there are other ways that you could do it, somewhat of a protest, I guess.
How about if it bothered him so much he just does it silently?
Yeah.
And that's the shut your mouth.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I don't want to get into the open in and out. We've talked about that enough.
Okay.
But I'm in for the open. As soon as my debit card gets to me by mail that I can actually use it again,
Mm-hmm.
I will sign up for the open. I know you're signed up for the open.
I am. I signed up.
Yeah, I think pretty much everybody on this channel is signed up for the open.
Mm-hmm.
So we're moving forward with it. I don't think we need to make a declaration on Instagram.
No.
But we're all in.
Yeah.
So then Hiller had a couple good videos out.
Okay. Well, that's good to know, because I unfollowed him.
One YouTube, and one of those was he got a clip from a Tia interview that she did with the Navy SEAL Foundation.
Okay.
Where she talked about how she thought that there is no one that programs the games better than Dave. She also was saying that that she thinks that what happened at the games was a freak accident. And while I don't disagree entirely with that, it means there's room for improvement. And she did kind of go on to say that at a later time, that we can learn from that and we can get better. So, but it was the first athlete that's really come out and supported CrossFit HQ and the people that we know as the forward-facing members of CrossFit HQ. Now, what she did say was she believes another entity should come in and run the games. And what I took from that is someone to come in, get the venue, to get vendor village set up, to get the food courts, to get all the activations, all of that stuff, and allow that CrossFit Games team to focus on the competition.
Yeah, so, you need an event planner or an event team. Yeah, right.
So the like the Daves and the Bosmans and all the people focusing on the competition have more time to do that and more focus on that. I think that is one thing that we learned last year is those people the people who do it best need to have the best focus to do the best job.
Yeah.
At the times.
Yeah.
Now she didn't say it as, I didn't even say it eloquently, but I think I said it better than she did. She was very vague and unclear about it, but that was my interpretation of it. And I think that would help the games team put on a better show. And they would have more time to think about safety and all that other stuff. But on top of that, like Carolyn said this Sunday night on our show, she doesn't feel any safer than she does at the CrossFit Games. She's been to a lot of competitions and has not felt safe. In games, in her experience, she's felt the most safe.
Okay. Yeah. Well.
And watching, like, I've seen some of the fiascos at Wodapalooza with the pouring down rain and the slipping and the sliding and the lifting heavy weights on the edge of a stage. And yeah.
So what was Hiller's opinion about? Was he giving his opinion or just sharing other content?
He was kind of sharing her content and kind of reiterating what he thought she was trying to say. He also thinks that she was somewhat vague because she didn't want to piss off the other side, which is what Train to Live is saying here. But she clearly said that Dave should be programming the games. Dave is to program the games. My only beef with that is that we've got to come up with a succession plan because Dave's not going to be around forever. Right. I don't know what's happening in Columbus, but both dogs are losing their mind. Walter is upstairs.
This is just mail delivery time here.
So with that, I'll go to the second part of Hiller's thing, and that is the French Throwdown. It started penalizing the online qualifiers. And for the first time, Hiller is calling good rep when the competition called no rep.
Look at that change of events.
Yeah. The world can change. So they added hang power cleans to the qualifier. This person got like 80% of her reps no repped. I do not see a no rep in what she did there.
No, I'm wondering if they thought that she brought the bar down before reaching extension. I mean, there was only one that I saw that I was like, I wonder if that's what the call was. I don't know what.
Elbows are in front of the bar.
Yeah, elbows are in front. Yeah.
She's in the front rack. And she is pausing at the top to get the full extension.
Yeah. Okay.
I would like to know why.
Jay Birch, why? He's taking the advanced judges course.
Corey Leonard, oh, how the tables have turned.
Oh, no, how the turntables.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, they only watched the top 18, I think it was that I read. Yet the top 20 make it, which makes zero sense.
What's two more? Like just view those.
Well, and once you've penalized these people, you have a whole new top 20.
Yeah, so can they appeal this? What the heck?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. It's what's scary to me is we're becoming more online based, and the more online based we become, the more this stuff's going to get in the way. Jay Birch, they look good to me.
Yep.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Corey, these are all good reps. One lady got penalized like 40 or 60. This lady in the video got penalized 80 reps.
80?
80.
Jeez. I'd like to see what the standards are.
Andrew Sten, if you're taking top 20, you should review the top 30 minimum.
Andrew, what's the issue here? Do you see one?
Hiller's issue is they shouldn't have put hang power cleans in at all. One, it's hard to judge when people are going fast, but this example here is there's nothing freaking wrong.
Yeah, but Birch has a good comment. Like, we're only seeing one set. Are they even no repping any of these? Is she saying no rep to any of these reps?
Yeah, I don't know. It would be wild, though, that she does whatever it is, 13 or 14 reps here in a row, and all of them are good.
Mm-hmm.
And then to completely shit the bed on the next.
Yeah. Okay. Fair point. Yeah.
I just finished the Monster Game qualifiers, and Masters didn't even have to submit a video. There you go. Stop making sense, Andrew Sten. It scares people.
Yeah, lessons were not learned from box step-ups. Good point.
Right. Yeah. It's just, I think the more online we go, the more this is going to become an issue, and Hiller is just going to get more and more popular. So good for Andrew Hiller.
Yeah.
We're coming up on the half hour, so, and I have a 1 o'clock meeting. So I'm going to finish up with this. Last night on the spin, they had Wilson Pock on, who Amy and I have met.
He's such
one of the nicest guys in the sport, and one of the most giving people of his time and his efforts. And if you support a local comp, Syndicate Crown is the one you need to support. He is just a good dude.
Mm-hmm.
They are making changes to try to make it more fan friendly. They, even though teams don't qualify through these, they're going to have a teams competition just for fun.
Yeah. And
it's going to be based on pretty much your levels without saying levels. Okay. It's going to be done that way. But the thing that blew my mind is they're putting in a couple rules that are different than any other in-person semi, which I like the rules. I hate that everybody gets to do whatever they want. And so what that is they are not allowing anybody who is already qualified for the CrossFit Games to attend.
Okay.
So he said, we hated the fact in the sanctionals where, well, because this person qualified from here and this person qualified from there, 7th place gets to go to the CrossFit Games.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like, our top 2 on the podium will be the 2 people that go to the CrossFit Games.
Yeah.
So if you get an invite and then you qualify for the games before the competition, your invite will be rescinded.
Okay.
So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I do like that.
They also announced that their programming will be done by J.R. Howe, who does Crash Crucible. This is his first big time comp to program for. And he has been named as someone that might be someone who could replace Dave at some point. So it's going to be interesting to see how he does on this level.
Yeah, I think I love that it will make it exciting because you're not like, oh, wondering who's going to make it. And the programming, as we were just talking about, we needed somebody who might be a succession. So yeah. This is
the last thing is the Sevon crew will be the one streaming the Syndicate Crown.
Okay.
So it'll be available to everyone on the Sevon channel. That means we're probably getting John Young and Bill Grundler as the announcers. But Wilson did say he's giving them unprecedented backstage access to tell more of the story throughout the weekend, which I think, as whoever it is that gets these opportunities, Brian Friend had it at Wadapalooza. Sevon's going to have it here. We need to take advantage of this so this becomes the norm, that we can cut the cost of the streaming so that the competition can make money and we can pay out the athletes and do all the other stuff. So I'm excited to see what they do with that. But yeah, those announcements were made last night on the Spin. So go check that out in the first 20 minutes or so.
We should make one quick announcement before signing off.
What's that?
Today's Kat's birthday.
Oh, it is. Happy birthday, Kat.
Yes.
And I can let you go. I'm just going to promote Justin Kotler's on today at 3:00. So check that out. 3:00 Eastern time, noon Pacific. And to answer Jody, I don't have an answer. I'll know by next Friday.
That was going to be one of my questions.
Back into the main office or not. But again, there are 1,500 employees and only 100 desks. So hoping they just don't have room for me. With that, thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to jump on with Justin Kotler. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And with that, we will see everybody next time on the Clydesdale Media Roundtable. Peace.
Bye.